wanted to get as many people involved, especially our youth, because we see our youth as being the what I call the next generation that has to take the next step.
Youth are our future, and we hear that all the time, but what does that mean? How do we treat youth? How do we involve them in our process and our decision making? How do we get them on board?
The majority of our population, more than half, are under the age of 25. So this is the time where we have to start, getting our youth involved and getting them aware of, the opportunities that are out there.
First of all, it's important that our youth are educated in every aspect of your community. Whether it be through school, you can look at education that way. You can look at the education that your community has to offer, your elders, your leadership, your administration. So when it comes to community development, you want your young people to be educated about the process and procedures that go with day-to-day administration of the band. You want them to know what issues and challenges you face as a community member. So they need to be educated in that, and that's where community development comes into place. If they're educated in that area, they can then follow through with and move with community development.
Probably most of your First Nations are under co-management or third party because we got incompetent managers. They're not educated. It's the clerk that becomes the band manager. Hire an accountant. Focus on these commerce, encourage our young people to take commerce and financial, instead of just, last 20, 30 years that we've had policemen, social counselors, and all of that, It's only in the last few years, as I've gone around, trying to encourage young people to take commerce, If you want to be in business, and financial management, and so on, and that's got to change. We got people, we need some professionals in our community. God will raise the level of and encourage our young people, more young people to strive for higher education.
Well, as a young person, I thank the leaders, and now it's time to prepare a contingency and a plan and a vision to how we hand it over the next realm of leadership. We got to start yesterday, and we got to keep going and set up the foundation for young people.
Well, the message that I bring to our young people is we have to learn from our past.
It is okay to be a Native person. It's okay to be in Anishinaabe. We were placed here by the Creator with our culture, with our values, principles, and philosophies on life. It is okay to be who we are, what we are.
I believe that we can rebuild our communities, rebuild our strength in terms of our education, rebuild our strength in terms of our economic development.
Now how we get there, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty certain that young people should have a voice in it, and hopefully they're going to share that and take the lead and take care of me when I'm an old-timer someday.
We should gather together. If the leaders listen to the elders, then they'll learn from their mistakes, from them leading before, and then they can teach the youth the mistakes and how to avoid them, and then the youth can put together a plan. And then for future generations to come, it can go down like that. If we just listen, because listening is the key to communication, right? Isn't it? I think so.
Arrow Land? I was there once. They thought I was a reserve dog.
I think we succeeded well. We look at the numbers turned out very well, and we're happy with the turnout.
Overall, I think the conference was really good actually, because we had a lot of our leaders, and they were talking and then there was a lot of motivational speakers talking about their stories.
It's been really good. It's almost invigorating to see all these young people. To see all these young people gather in one room for such an important gathering. They might be here for the conference experience, but really, they are going to learn so much because there's a lot of good people in this room, in this conference that I was in today. So it's a really joyful experience and a really educational experience for me too. I'm always learning, so definitely a very well put together conference.
Well, I think this conference, not just for myself, but for a lot of the youth or a lot of the people here, is that it's an eye-opener, and I think it's creating more awareness for the youth. And for myself, it has been doing the same thing. I've been learning a lot more about the mining companies and the processes in which they have to carry through in order to, you know, get what they want, kind of thing. And I think it's just a matter of our First Nations and our chief and councils to make the best informed decisions that they can.
If you want to bring riches to your people, it's through business. If you want to get wisdom to flourish, it's through education. You know? And if you want to celebrate, we need to lift up the arts and entertainment to bring glory to our communities. And if you want to bring honor to your people, it's through the spiritual.
Everybody worked hard in sharing their views, listening, communicating, networking, and putting out a message of one of strong hope, a strong signal that we want to do business now. Our communities are interested in moving forward. We want to be ready when these developments occur. And this is what, that's what the purpose of setting this networking stage and having such a beautiful gala at the end of the day.
When you quit chasing rainbows, stop caring where the train goes. I'll be right there to bring you back home. And I will save you from all that harmed you. I will be your solid ground, the safe harbor you never found. I will be your heart reborn, the shelter in your endless storm.
Anything else that you'd like to say?
Hi, Mom. I'm just kidding.
It seems like